What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? A gracious good Monday morning to you folks. It is, again, Monday. It's December 1st, and it's 3:24 in the a.m. And as promised, I'm going to share a story that was somewhat related to my introduction story, but you'll get the gist. During my posting over what I like to refer to as my mini vacation, I stumbled across this video. Now, I have to mention color in order to really highlight the context and content of this video. It's a Caucasian woman who was speaking about racism and people's, I want to say, romanticization of, the the end of racism. And they come up with this BS, the post-racial society. And she was pointing out 3 signs that you still hold firm and fast to racism. And she went on to highlight them. And I need to say, for the most part, my comments about this posting were favorable. But there's always that one individual who gets butthurt only to further highlight the point of what the woman said, but they gets butthurt and wants to defend, or as I like to call it, play tennis on both sides of the net and offer up an argument that pretty much confirms what the woman said. But, they somehow feel vindicated for having defended their position or their thoughts. I present my thoughts for the conversation. I need to say that, or I wouldn't be on here. But to come in, as they say, coming in hot and not receptive, coming in hot and defensive without really listening to what is said, you render any argument or any salient point moot. Just need to say that. Just need to bring that to your attention. And, for a lot of people, I want to say when folks do that and they come in the comments and do what they do, I delete the comment. I need to say that. And it's not that, I'm sterilizing the environment. I'm deleting the comment because I don't want people to attack folks. And sometimes that is the first response when angered. And then it goes into this back and forth. And again, any points to be made at that point are moot because there's anger involved. So, all that being said, I'm going to ask that you sit with the uncomfortable for a hot second. Reflect on it. And come back with something that's not baiting, that's not argumentative, that is your belief, and stand on it. See, as a counselor by profession, I have to teach people how to use I statements. It's very, very simple, very basic counseling 101 or psychology 101. in an I statement, no one can tell you how you should feel. I statements reflect your present state, your thoughts on your present state. It's like, it is my belief that. Okay. And then somebody's going to ask you, why do you believe that? Then you can say, well, I believe this because. There's no argument in that. Because then the other individual can say, well, according to, I believe this based on. So there's constant I statements and reflections and information being put out for conversation. Not, oh, you're wrong because this is greater than that. That's not what I want to happen or want to see or even want to hear. I want to hear, cultural context. Well, I grew up believing this because. And that gives you the opportunity, again, to reflect on the environment that you're in. Now, the woman who was identifying characteristics of racism said she does not understand friendship circles of all one race, because that pretty much in those groups, your isms are being reinforced by other people who share those unspoken isms. I agree. Now, need to say this, and I know there are going to be a couple, 2-3 folks butthurt. There's certain individuals that boil my bile, if I can say it like that I just don't like. And it's kind of because of the reason that the woman said. Now, I don't know their friendship circle, but I know how they speak and how they move. And one of the things that really irks me to no end is the mindset that I'm going to save somebody from themselves because they don't know any better. That social worker that puts on the cape because I feel sorry for. Nobody asked for your pity. No, see, if you're going to be in this profession, you also have to recognize your position as a helper, not a person that takes over, or your position as a teacher in the context of this is, I want to say, the roadmap, the societal roadmap for certain aspects of life. Now, you don't have to adhere to it. You can make it fit to your environment, your surroundings. See, that's where that term cultural competency comes in. And you only have to look at this administration, this current political environment, to see that there is no desire to recognize any culture other than the perceived power structure. And notice I use the word perceived. We need to wake up. There's this massive move to make woke a bad word. No, you prefer that I sleep off so I don't see or I don't hear what you're saying and doing. I'm going to stay woke all in your face. And I'm going to speak the woke language, calling you out and embarrassing you on every front each time you show up, as my mama would say, thinking that you're running things.